Today I work with me. We're coming back and following 1608 27th Street. One of the neighbors called, and we are going to be, and we explained to the neighbor what's happening in the project, and then are bringing home the drew a schematic for the neighbor so that to see if he would be able to sign off or just be interested in doing the project or moving forward with the projects. Like from you guys. I'm sorry. My phone. Come on, work. There you go. What were you saying?
Okay. Tell me the situation. I understand what he's trying to do.
Okay, so my client, he owns 1608 27th, and because of the grading of the alley, he can't really have a parking at the back of the alley. And it's a paper alley right now, so it's not all the way. It's not all the way.
Because behind my building, right? Because there's nothing there.
Yeah. So what he wants to do is
he wants to create an alley. He wants to create an alley so he can create parking in the back of the building.
Yeah. And so what we need to do. We had a meeting with DDOT. What needs to happen is, because we need to add walls, and DDOT doesn't allow walls in their alley. We need to close the alley. Yeah. So he's willing to close it all the way down so that you guys other neighbors can have parking as well if they choose to from that, and also that land would be split between all the adjacent property owners.
Okay. Can you send me some more info on, or do we have a drawing of it or anything like that?
So I didn't go as far as a drawing, but I can draw something up for you so you can better understand it.
I'd like to get a better feel for it.
Yeah, for sure. Which owner are you?
I am 1603 28th Street.
Okay. So I will. Can you send me your email address? I'll send something to you as soon as I get back to from my computer.
All right.
And if you do know any of the other owners that are adjacent, that'll be great so that we can do this project.
I don't know any other. Only owner I know is the lady that's next to me, that's in the house on the corner.
Okay. I don't know if she'd be affected.
Yeah.
I know that the vacant lot, I don't know who that person hasn't called back yet, but.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure who. Yeah, that's the only person I
know. Okay. So send me your email, and within the next 2 hours, I'll send you basically a drawing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for calling back. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was the owner of 1608, one of the 1608 alleyway. So someone called back. Yay, this project might move forward. So let's engineer something. So first, so I can draw an exhibit of the whole entire site so that I can really show the neighbor why this project's important and what we're planning on doing and why he's essential for the continuation of the project. To move forward with the elevations, we're using GIS break lines just to create more so of a full picture of what's going on the site. Now we have a few more elevations on the site, and now we can really see how steep this alleyway really is. And we're assigning some elevation points just so we can have a little bit more of a conversation around what's going on at this alley. These elevation points are what's existing right now based off the GIS survey. The GIS portion, because we only surveyed up to where you see the peak is. So that's what we did our actual survey based on. But the remaining part of the site would need to undergo a topographic survey. Here I'm just doing some quick calculations. So if for our driveway, we need at least 12% maximum for an uncovered driveway. So with that being said, this alley needs to be 12% max. The reason being, even though it's not actually a driveway, it is a area where it does snow. So because of sleet, you don't want to slip, dry like ice. You want it to be safe, and that's why the maximum slope is 12%. So we're gonna have to have areaways on areaways. We're gonna have retaining walls on both sides, unless we were able to push back the slope all the way into this neighbor's property, which is the neighbor that called. This neighbor that called was this exact neighbor. So if this neighbor agrees to it, we can grade into their property, add parking into their property. But if they do not agree to it, we'd have to add a wall along the property line right here, and probably about a 2-foot wall. Okay, so I'm showing the grading here, the possibilities. All neighbors would have to agree. We'd do a huge cut exercise so that we could obtain the proper elevations to create parking for all the rear neighbors. See here, if this neighbor doesn't want to grade into their site, we will have to add retaining walls. If they do agree to grade into the site, we can have an easy 10% slope from their lot into the alley that's here. The second exhibit that I am doing is basically doing an even split of the property between all the neighbors. So we measured it and it's about 1124. Dividing that by 4, we get about, what do we get? So each neighbor should have 281 square feet divided between the 4, since 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a neighbor that called again. And now we did an even split of each lot. This is not our end. This is just a potential of how it could be split. The neighbors clearly have to have a conversation to figure out what the final split would really look like. Now I'm just creating the exhibit, plotting it out so that we can send to the client. And we're almost there at the final product, just checking it out. And we're sending an email to the neighbor, letting him know what we can do. And now we just have to wait and see what he says. So we got that done. So now we're just waiting to hear back from the neighbor, and hopefully we hear back from the other 3 neighbors, and so that the project can move forward. It'll be a pretty exciting project. Alley closure, the committees, and all that sort of bad. Looking forward to it. So like, comment, subscribe. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.